if you
So you
if you
have some
buy such
wonderful
books.
Chessable courses. Should we expect more courses or books from you?
I mean, maybe yes, it's possible one day. I mean, it's kind of interesting and in a way enjoyable. It's tough work. It's actually, especially when it's about opening courses. Oh, it's so tough because when I was doing it, I mean, I really had to go through. I mean, of course, I have a lot of knowledge and lines, but I wanted to update everything, that there is no mistakes, that really like it's a last word of the theory. And yeah, it was a lot of work. But it's possible, yeah, it's possible. But how many? I recorded five already, I think. It's quite a lot, actually. Yeah, I mean, I covered almost all elements of chess. I mean, chess is a simple game. There are not so many elements. Yeah. So no, but actually, what is very interesting, I would like maybe when I have time to cover this, because with this new times in chess with engines with shorter time controls, there are many new thematics which are actually have never been covered in actually very conceptual and for example, like management. I mean, this correlation between time and position, yeah, like how to manage. It's a very interesting subject in different time controls. Yeah, like nobody yet actually wrote anything as far as I am aware of. I mean, about this subject, or let's say preparation before the game, before games, in modern times. Yeah, in, let's say, your opening concept repertoire, because you have blitz games, rapid, classical chess. So how to manage it, that you are like having, but I mean, there are some very interesting subjects which are new, completely new, and maybe I would try to touch one of it. But there is also another. By the way, I think Levon Aronian, he advised me. I mean, he told me actually, and I agreed with him, that it's a not covered, this thematic, very important one of chess, in chess, but it's actually practically never covered. I don't know any book on it, which is, if you know what I mean, a transformation of advantages. That's how he called it. And actually, I mean, like, because it's always, in fact, if you start to think about chess, that it's always like you're transforming one sort of advantage to another. Let's say you sacrifice the pawn, you have a lot of initiative, then you won an exchange. So then you like, okay, now he has initiative, you already have an exchange, then he gave it back, he equalized, but then you have a better activity of pieces. So, all this play of elements, like always trying to, because that's the way to win games, even if you have slight advantage. It's always like I mean, when you play a strong opponent, you have to give up some advantage in order to get another one, which is hopefully a bit bigger than the previous one. But it's not like you just get one. Let's say you have bishop against knight, better bishop, or better knight against bishop, and you just win. No, I mean, in a way, when you start winning, you maybe at some point you activate your king, his bishop becomes actually already fine, but now you already king is more active, and etc. etc. Very complicated subject, but actually it's very, very interesting, I believe. And I don't really know any book on covering this. Or maybe I'll just ask Levon to write this book, and I will and I will write the forward for it.
Well, I
But in
hope
any,
as
yeah.
someone who's a lot of chess books, it is frustrating to me that books often end with, plus over equals because you have a better position or something, a better bishop, but converting an advantage is still a bit of a mystery to me.
Of course, to everyone, to me as well. Yeah, I mean, it's one of, but exactly. I mean, to actually try to understand the essence of certain thematics in chess, like how to defend. I mean, like in really go deep into the roots of it. So basically, converting advantage, whatever big, small, is about actually being very good at transforming your advantage all the time. So what I was talking about the, yes, when we were working with DeepMind, and we try to understand how does this mighty machine is learning actually. Well, it's a long path, of course, to understand fully, but then there were, well, I tried at some point, to my own surprise, I tried to formalize what are the major, I would say, points, major characteristics of any position. And in fact, there are very few, there are less than 10. You know, I realize that actually every position has basically less than 10 characteristics. So it's probably possible to formalize the game of chess one day, actually, to kind of, I mean, not of course completely, but like which that can be very helpful in order to at least get the correct direction of play. At least, yeah, then of course a lot depends on calculation, but like strategical decisions probably possible to make almost like, I don't know if it's wishable, that's another story, but yeah, I'm a little bit like trying to think in this direction, especially after working with DeepMind. It was kind of, yeah, interesting to start, because this work is, of course, goes much beyond the chess. Yeah, I mean, it's more like trying to understand the patterns, the decision making of AI. Yeah, this is, we are still very far from this understanding, you know, this opening this black box of AI, but it was an attempt, and we continue a bit, and it's actually quite interesting. So to take chess as an example and trying to understand how exactly does it learn, what patterns does it recognize, and so on. So maybe I'll write a book on it one day if we crack it, which is unlikely, by the way.